Tola Talks. We got a great show for you playing today. Actually, one of my favorite topics. We're going to be talking volleyball. Now, I know you might be thinking, well, it's all football season, right? It's all these football games, and there's a Big Ten championship game. I see that Ohio State's playing Indiana University. So, hey, good luck to Indiana U. Hopefully, I can pull this off this year. But I want to give a shout out to two teams. One is one of my favorite teams, Purdue Boilermakers. They won last night. You saw that against Wright State. The NCAA Women's Volleyball Championships is going on. We'll be talking all things volleyball today. And I'm really excited because Brad DiRupo's coming on. He's a 12-time New Jersey State Championship coach. And we're going to have him on, coming on exactly 10 o'clock. So before we do that, let me talk a little bit about volleyball, give you a little history lesson here. I'm sure you know all about it. Maybe you played volleyball. I mean, I played it and taught it to my students in the high schools that I taught. They love volleyball. It was either volleyball, basketball, or soccer. We used to give them three choices, but I would always play volleyball. And another shout out to Indiana U won last night. So both teams are proceeding to the next, which is tonight. I know Purdue plays Baylor. The two teams that were not ranked, let me give a shout out to UNC, North Carolina, and Utah State. Utah State beat Tennessee, which was a ranked team. I suppose they had a good team. Never saw them play. And then UTEP, University of Texas, El Paso, got beat by NC. I heard NC's got a really good, UNC's got a really good team. So we'll see how far they go. And you guys know Nebraska, Cornhuskers play tonight. And again, we're looking at the Baylor game, Baylor versus Purdue tonight. So good luck to all those teams. But hey, guys, what is volleyball, right? And how do you play volleyball? And more importantly, when was volleyball created? Well, let me give you a little history lesson here. I had to look this up myself. It began 130 years ago, which was 1895. It's this physical ed director from the YMCA. No kidding. His name was William G. Morgan. It was in Holyoke, Massachusetts, that he created the sport. It was called Mintonette first, before it was volleyball, because he wanted a less stressful alternative to basketball. So what did he do? He blended the elements of three sports, okay? Tennis using the net, basketball using a ball, and handball for the hand use. So that's it. Tennis, basketball, handball, combined them, created this sport, which quickly spread in popularity amongst the YMCAs. And no kidding, the military. You know, I want to give a shout out to all the Top Guns. You guys are a fan of Top Guns, the movie with Tom Cruise, because they play volleyball, right? You see that they're on the beach. By the way, don't confuse volleyball, which I'm talking about today, women's volleyball, plus men's volleyball, played with 6 players on each team on a hardwood court, versus beach volleyball, which is played with 2 players on each team and on the beach. We're not going to confuse the two, but when did volleyball become an Olympic sport? 1964, a year after I was born, in Tokyo, both men's and women's. And then it became official in, 1947 is when it really became official with a designated body to run it. But then later in 1964, it joined the Olympics. Now, beach volleyball didn't come around till 1996. You know, we won the women's team. Well, let's talk about beach volleyball for a second. That joined the Olympics in Atlanta in, again, 1996. But what about us winning? When's the last time we won the women's volleyball we're talking today? We won the gold in 2020 in Tokyo Olympics, right? And then last time, 2024, in Paris Olympics, Italy beat us. So we got the silver. So we're really good at volleyball, right? And I watched the Big Ten. I know there's different. There's the SEC, and then we'll talk to Brad. He follows sort of the East Coast Maryland teams, but I'm a Big Ten fan. So that's what I've been watching, which Brad told me is the best. So here we go. What skills are necessary for volleyball? There's 6 skills. Right? There's the serve, there's the pass, there's the set, there's the attack, there's the block, and then there's the dig. Got it? Serve, pass, set, attack, block, and dig. And then in 1998, the libero was interested. That's a defensive position. It's also like a second setter. We'll talk about the different positions. And Bergen Riley, give a shout out to her. She's like one of the best setters in the nation, plays for Nebraska. A setter sets up those that are going to kill the ball, right, that are attacking. So the libero was introduced, but NCAA introduced it in 2002. So again, we're going to talk a little bit about the different positions with Brad because he knows all about that. So in terms of the sport, you guys know you have to win 3 sets out of 5. The first 1 through 4 sets, you play up to 25 points. Now, in the old school, you had to be a server to make a point, but not now. So you can make a point if someone from the other team, they're called eras. So points are up to 25. You have to win by 2. And again, the 5th set is only played to 15. You know, I really like that. The game is fast. The game's exciting. I mean, again, guys, I don't even know when I started watching this sport. But let me tell you, it seems easy at first when you're watching this sport, but it's not. It seems kind of quite easy. Oh, they're just hitting the ball back. You could only hit it 3 times to get it over to the other side. But then they seem to go out of bounds, right? You have the court. We'll talk about that with Brad, but you could basically go anywhere after you serve the ball. It seems like you could go into the stands. You know, I've seen women dive in, you know, Derek Jeter style, diving into the stands. So to me, these women are so fit, so tough. They're mentally tough. They're physically tough. They're diving everywhere. How they dig the ball. I mean, this ball's coming at you. It looks like 100 miles an hour. And these women get super low and they dig that ball, which is they prevent it from hitting the floor. To me, I just fell in love with this sport. But then I thought, you know, maybe I could listen to it on the radio. Hey, guys, it took me, I'm telling you, it took me maybe watching 50 games before I could listen to it on the radio. For one, a lot of the announcers, they have a lot of these young kids from the Big Ten that are announcing. But, man, you listen to Nebraska. Oh, that's like the announcers are amazing. Give a shout out to them. And some of my favorite players on Nebraska, I love Harper Murray and Andy Jackson, Bergen Riley. You got Adriano. I mean, there's all the players are really good. Let me tell you, Nebraska, they're 30-0. You know, I think they go all the way. You need to win 6 games to win it all, right? They play tonight against Long Island University. And let me see what time it is. I know I told Brad exactly 10. So what's going on? He hasn't received my email. Oh, Brad, what is happening with that? All right, let me check, guys, because, you know, Brad tells me he hasn't received. What is going on? I sent it to you. Brad, you watching? All right, give me a second here, guys. I want to get Brad all set up with this. I sent him the link, and he's still not able to get the link, huh? Why is that? Hold on. Give me a second. This is very important. Can't get him on there without the link. All right, let's try this again. Hold on. Let me just do this. Send him the link again. Let's see. Brad, are you there? Did you get the link? All right. I sent him the link. He's supposed to be going on. Let me text him right here. Just sent it again. Hold on. Check. Maybe he's got to check your spam. I don't know. But we need to get him on here, guys. How it works is I send him the link. He clicks the link. He's on live. He's supposed to be on live. But anyway, over at Purdue, I mean, Grace Heaney, she's a lefty. And I'm going to talk about that because I don't see a lot of lefties. She's excellent. Kenna Woolard is outstanding. So, again, Purdue and Nebraska are the 2 teams that I've watched mostly because I got the Big Ten that I'm watching. And, again, we're going to talk to Brad once he gets lined up here. What is going on, Brad? I told him to call me if he doesn't get it. He should be logging in. But anyway, volleyball to me is an exciting sport. It's a fast sport. There's not a lot of time for commercials. They take a break when one team reaches 20. Seems that they kind of take a little break there. But I'll tell you what I've witnessed is once a team gets to 20 points in those first 4 sets, boom, they're like, forget it. They're impossible to stop. I'm not sure of this. I'm going to try one more thing here because I sent him the link. I'm going to try to send him another link. I keep sending this to this Brad DiRupo, supposed to be coming on. Where are you? Where are you, Brad? All right. Sorry about this, guys. I sent him a test. We sent it before. I sent it again and again. All right. Why he doesn't get my emails, I have no idea. Let me try sending it from a different address. All right. Hold on. Let's do this. Thanks for staying with me, guys. I'm going to send it from this address here. You this one here, and let's try this here. So, Brad, are you there? I'm having so much fun. I love talking volleyball. So again, these are some exciting times right now. NCAA, we got the 64 teams. Here we go. Not let me get in. Why is that? All right, here I got him on the phone. Brad, is that you? I'm on live. What's going on? I sent it to you 100 times. Try it again. Try it again. Oh, you don't have Google Chrome? I told you, you need Google Chrome to get, remember we talked about that. So you could download Google Chrome, and this is a link I sent him. You could download Google Chrome real quick and then get on board. I've been talking all about the sport, but yeah. We're going to get him on here, guys. I know him. I like to talk. Never did this before, but hey, you got to improvise. Yeah, Brad DiRupo. He's in town. Let me tell you where. Yeah, Bogota. So he's in Bogota, New Jersey. It's about I looked it up, 9 miles from the GW Bridge. It's a little town up near Hackensack, New Jersey. He taught a high school there. He retired, and he still teaches volleyball. 12-time the New Jersey State champs. So, and you know, guys, I'm from Trenton, New Jersey, and I know a lot of guys from up in Hackensack. Played at Penn, actually. So, yeah, let's see. Are you close? Yeah, we got to keep him on the phone until he goes live. Yep, you should be on. I don't see you yet. I'm live. Let's see. All right, I feel like you're coming. I feel like something's going on here. I'm looking for you on. Yeah, he's almost there, guys. This is great. I'm glad I got the cell phone working. He's gonna sign in here. Well, it's 10:05. Not bad. I love talking about this sport. Let me tell you, these are the most fit women that I've ever seen in any females. You're not live on mine. Can you see me? Huh. Hold on. Let me see what's going on here. I don't know. I don't know why you're not coming on live. Should be. He should just pop right on. I've done this before. Huh. I mean, we could reschedule, but I feel like we're so close. We're so close here. I've already been on for close to 14 minutes. Hang in there, guys. No. All right. Well, we got a good show in about the volleyball, that's for sure. Could bring you on Monday. Any luck? There you go. There he is. There he is. All right, let me. Hey guys, say hello to Brad DiRupo.
Hello.
All right, Brad. So I just gave an introduction. You've been with that team for a long time. Oh, nice and clear. Yeah, I like it. All right. So guys, Brad DiRupo played baseball back in the day. I remember you were like lightning fast with my brother at Trenton State College at the time.
Yes.
So you went on to have an illustrious teaching career. We talked about that, but you've been teaching volleyball now for how long?
Coaching volleyball since 2000.
2000, 25 years, and you won 12 state championships.
Yes.
So half the time you're winning. All right. So let me tell you. Let me ask the first question, right? What's it take to win a state championship? With is it the players? Is it just the energy? What is it?
Well, I tell you what, Rich, it's just not just volleyball. It basically, you have to have a coach that's committed. You have to have kids that are committed. You have to have parents that are committed, or it doesn't work. If one
Wait,
of those
hold
things
up, hold
breaks
up. Can
down,
you raise your volume? You're a little low on the volume. Raise your volume
yeah,
up
hold on here.
because I'm not hearing you loud and clear.
That's 100%. There we go. We good
Okay.
now?
Little better. All right, maybe get there.
All right. So listen, I say this all the time. People ask me this question, and you got to have commitments from the kids. You have commitments from the coaches and the parents. If one of those things breaks down, it's not going to work.
Right.
And I've been fortunate at my small school to have that. And people ask me all the time, what's the secret to your success? And I just say the commitment of all parties involved. You can have a coach that's committed. If the kids are not committed, it doesn't work. If you have kids that are committed and the coach doesn't put the time in,
right,
it's not going to work. So I've been fortunate, and that's why I remain at the school I do, because the kids are really committed to the cause.
Man, I love that. Commitment's everything. I mean, I remember growing up, my father and mother were committed to getting my brother and I, my sister, to the sports. You know, kids nowadays, they miss. You're right. They have to be there. The parents have to commit to it. All right, so let's do this. I want to talk about, so I gave a little overview of the sport, and there's all these things. The first thing I hear is out of system. Let's jump right into this, and I looked that up. I'm on the radio. I hear it a lot. Oh, they're out of system. So, let's give a quick little background of what is it? Is there formations or what is this?
Now, out of system is, I'll tell you what in system is. In system is you pass a ball,
right,
goes to the setter sets the ball, the hitter hits the ball. That's in system. Anything when that doesn't occur, it's called out of system. So like, for example, like if the setter is back row,
right,
playing defense, right? So
right,
like one of the things that the right sides are taught to do is hit at the setter. Setters normally do not play great defense because they don't work on it enough.
right.
And now you have to have a second person take that ball. That's what an out of system is. So it's not traditional pass setter hitter. That's an out of system ball. Right. And that happens a lot in high school. Right. Happens a lot in college, but difference in college is the kids are so highly skilled that they're able to take that second ball. Right. Setting a ball for a high school kid when they don't practice is very difficult. So we do practice that out of system stuff.
So guys, it's 3 touches, right? So the serve. So does the server try to serve it to a particular person, or they just kind of?
Yeah, 1,000%. So
I see.
So we call it serve to score, Richard. Like if the flip side is a free ball serve. Basically, you serve the ball in the middle of the court,
right?
You're going to get destroyed.
You're lobbing it in there.
Yeah, right. That's a joke. You're not going to beat a high level team. So you need to serve. Schools do different things. We always serve to 1 and 5, which is the corners of the court, deep, because we want the passers that we're playing against to move back. It's very difficult to move back on a ball. So that's the deal. So we generally go 1 to 5. Now, if we see it, we're also teach our kids that if they serve a ball and a kid makes a passing error, you got to go right back to that kid. Because volleyball happens so fast.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some coaches watch warm-ups.
I see.
You see who's passing well on for the other team. But I'm not a believer in that because and scout matches, we'll see you can have a kid that passes terrible, a match that you're scouting, and then against us, they pass lights out. So we every coach is different, but some coaches give a signal. They'll get 1, 5, or 6.
I was going to ask that. Do you signal the player? I look a lot of times. See, I watch the Big Ten. They look over to the coach, Danny Busbum's. They're looking. So are they she wants you to? She'll give a signal where to hit it.
They'll give a signal who to serve to, and so college coaches will scout. High school coaches will scout 1 match or something, or you see something college. There's a lot of film involved, and in high school too. There's a lot of film involved too, but not at the college level. So they'll go over a pregame or practice before the match, and they'll go over. This is who we're serving to. This is who we're serving to. Right. Stuff like that. So volleyball is 6. There's it's
6 players. Yeah, go over the positions because I know them, but why don't you cover them? I know there's the setter, there's the libero. All right, go ahead.
All right, so you have the hitters. You have outside hitter, a middle hitter, called middle blocker, and a right side.
And they're up on
And
the front line pretty
you're up
much.
on the front line, and then you have the
Outside, and then
setter.
there's that thing called the antenna, which is like kind of out, right? And then you have the net, and then
Yeah.
you got 1, 2, 3, middle blocker, outside, and then the right side.
Right side, yeah.
Okay, that's 3.
Yeah. And yeah, so then you have DS was defensive specialist. You have libero,
Right.
who is supposed to be your best defensive player.
Dig player. Is that digging when you're digging or
yeah,
defense?
it's a dig. Yeah, that's a defensive
and so she
dig.
stays back. She stays back mostly, or she's in the middle. Where's the libero?
Well, here's the deal. College, they play. So the court is split up into 6 zones. So where you serve is 1.
Okay.
You go to the front 2, 3 middle front, 4 outside front, 5 back left corner, and 6.
I see.
Right. And in college, generally, the liberos play in 5. In high school,
right,
most times they play in 6. Like our kid will play in 6. Now, more and more high schools are starting to go with 5.
5.
Because usually your best hitters you're playing against are outside, and usually they go cross court. So that's the logic with that.
Okay.
So
Okay. Wait, let me jump in. So, and in the middle, they call that the donut or the campfire. Is that what they call that? What's the
well, campfire is like if you have to send over a free ball,
right?
Which is
it's just like you got to just get it back over. I know what a free ball.
You're on your 3rd hit. You got to
right.
So like
just get it.
Campfire is like this is right behind the middle blocker, like because they want the back row, the wings to get that ball. So but if you got to do a lot of campfires, you're not going to be very good.
Got it. So you're hitting them right over the block, but you're lobbing them in. Yeah, I hear that. Campfires are dangerous. What's the donut then when they say the donut?
I've never heard of a donut.
You never heard of the donut? Maybe that's another word for the campfire because to me, the donut hole, it's like the hole in the middle. Okay, so I hear that sometimes, but I see.
In college,
right,
they'll send over a free ball like really high, if you notice.
Yeah.
That's where they can get their defense set.
I see. Yeah.
Gives them time to get set.
They go, like if they're at it, like if they go into the stands and the one girl, and then they'll hit it, you're right, really high. So then I see. So it's always about defense, right? You're coming back. So do you have you remember it now? I got to compare it to baseball, right? I remember this guy, Coach Rubin.
Shocker.
Yeah, we had 50 different, when he bunts it to the right side, it's, I don't even know if they were numbers, but is it the same in volleyball? Like you set up different rotations, or what is that? Like, what are they called? Different play structures?
Well, yeah, there's plays you could run, like generally advanced high school kids teams have plays like a slide, the middle hits a slide and stuff like that. But generally, my kids are basic. Like we set our outside 90% of the time. And if the team's good enough to beat us, they beat us.
All right, wait. What does that mean? Set her outside. So let's look it over. So the serve, and let me tell you, I've seen jump serves. I've seen women throw the ball up, but I don't even know how they could time it. There's this one. What's her name? Oh man, let me tell you, I had to wrote her name. Her name is Charlotte Vincent from Indiana U. Oh my God, she throws the ball like 30 feet in the air, and then she jumps and hits it like a bullet. That's called a jump serve. Do you see a lot of players do that, or how do you even?
Not in high school.
Not in high school.
Their idea of a jump serve is they'll take like a half an approach, and then they'll jump and hit the ball. That's a top spin serve you're talking about. That's really advanced. You don't see that in high school.
You don't see that.
No, you don't see it in high school.
Got it.
If someone could do that on your team, you're going to be very successful.
I see. So, by the way, serving to me is like throwing free throws, right? So, isn't it the easiest thing to practice? So, why do so many women miss the line? Like, I see it a lot where they miss it by like 30. You're like, whoa. It's Virginia Adriano from Nebraska. She's got a snap serve. Now, she only does it when they're way ahead and because she's not quite there with it yet. But I would think that would be easy to practice serve on your own. Is that not something they do?
Well, yeah. We practice serving. We serve first part of practice, in the middle of practice, at the end of practice. We do
Okay.
pressure serving at the end.
Okay.
Well, here's the bottom line with volleyball. If this is the first thing I was taught in volleyball, is you need to serve and you need to pass. If you can't do either or, and I say serve to score, like not free ball serves.
I see.
If you got to serve and you got to pass,
Serve
you
and score.
can't do that. Any volleyball coach will tell you
Right.
you're not going to be very successful.
Right.
That's the bottom line.
Right.
Because you're not even, if you can't pass, you can't get the ball to the setter, you can't get the ball to your hitters, you're in
Right.
trouble. You send
Right.
over free balls all the time.
Right.
You know,
I
they're
mean, the
shank
serve,
passes.
that's called an ace. When they serve it and they get it in there on the first shot, that's called an ace. You don't see them a lot. And you get that a lot in high school?
Yeah, a lot in high school.
Okay.
Yeah, you get a pretty good amount. So when you say serving is easy, serving is the only
I don't know if
skill.
it's easy. Yeah.
Yeah,
I would think it would be the easiest to get good at. No?
it is easier to get good at because you could practice that on your own, you know,
Right.
yada yada. But like the
Right.
bottom line is too, like you got to serve tough. Like I
Ah.
said before, you got to serve to score. If you serve free
Right.
balls, you're not going to be very successful.
Right.
So
Right.
we spend a lot of time on it. I'm sure most high schools do, colleges do. So I go to Penn State a lot. I used to go, and Coach Rose was the coach, and
Right.
like I went to some matches and stuff like that. So like I would go see them practice and stuff. They would let me do that, and like they had a 7:00 match. They were in the 10:00 to 11:30. All they did in that hour and a half was serve and pass. That's it.
Serve and
That's
pass.
it.
Right.
That's it. That's it. That's
That's
all
it.
they did.
Serve
So
and pass. Blocking
me-
is a whole nother thing. You know, blocking is getting up high, hands in. I know that. You like when they turn the hands out, hands in, and you're trying to there's a triple block, double block, sometimes single. Harper Murray's, she could play any position, but I hear you. So you're serving and then you're passing. And then the setter, I learned, tries to get the ball like 3 feet above the net. Like the setter's goal is to put it specifically where the hitters can, right? So is it like the setter gets to know their hitters, or is it?
1,000%.
Yeah.
1,000%. Some kids prefer a quick set, which is more of a flatter set.
Right.
Some kids want a higher set. Kids who could jump well, have long arms.
Right.
So it's up to the players to figure that out. So they'll communicate before the play starts what they're going to set. But like you do that in practice. Like you first start the year, you go over, you do hitting stuff, but then as it gets more complex, then you isolate the setter with each hitter. Okay, where do they like the ball? You know what I'm saying? So it's the setter's job is to get the ball to the hitter where they need to have success, where they could have success. It's the setter's job to make the hitter look good. It's not the hitter to make the setter look good.
Right.
You know what
I
I'm
know.
saying?
Bergen Riley, when Harper Murray comes from the back, like sometimes she's way in the back, and I could feel it. Like she's coming right up the middle, and you got the two outsides teed up. You have Andy Jackson, who's awesome, and then Adriano, but then she comes right through the middle, and it's like perfect. Like she lays it up perfect, and you can't stop it. She gets up high. So that's like the setter. Does she feel her? Or do they? And they go signals. And what is that? Like, does she know she's coming, or eyes in the back of your head?
Yeah, she'll have a good idea. You're talking about a back row attack, I believe.
Yeah, back row attack. Right.
Which is basically like that's colleges. Harper Murray, like, listen to me, like for she can hit anywhere, for Christ's sake. So
anywhere.
But like high school, we'll set the back row kids when it's a bad pass, like a pass is at the 10-foot line.
Right.
So that for us, the target is like at 5 feet, which is 5 feet from the net, 5 feet from the 10-foot line.
Yeah, there's a 10-foot line. Okay.
Yeah.
Is that there for a reason, by the way, or that's just to put kind of in your mind? That's 10 feet, or or is it like you plan around that line? The setter seems to be around that line a lot, right?
Well, yeah, we set up the setter at 5 feet, like I said, but when you have a back row attack,
right,
you cannot start your jump in front of that 10-foot line.
Right.
It's got to be behind that. You could land in front of the 10-foot line. Some of these kids are so athletic and so talented that they'll start behind the 10-foot line. They'll end up at like 5 feet.
Right, like
from
a
the net.
Michael
You know what I'm
Jordan.
saying?
Yeah,
But like,
yeah, I got you. But they start behind the 10-foot line,
they
and the
have to hit behind
setter's
the
like
10.
around 5 feet. They
Yeah.
never, it's like rare. I never see them bump into each other, which you would think it's interesting. Maybe in high school, I don't see them like, it's,
Nah, it's communication. It's
it's communication.
communication. You know.
Got it. What about
Sometimes,
yeah,
like our hitters, like if our best hitter is back row and
right.
we need a point, like I'll tell a setter, set her.
Set
You know,
her
she's
up.
back
Yeah,
row, set her.
yeah, set her. Right. Yeah, I see that. Harper Murray seems to do a lot of those back row attacks versus Andy Jackson is on the right side. And then Rebecca, I'm not talking about Nebraska because that's the team I watch the most. Rebecca Alec, when there's that, what is it? Sometimes when on like the second ball, it goes over the net. They don't really set it up. What's that called? Free ball? When
Yeah.
there's like a free man, if there's a free ball anywhere near 3 feet from the net, forget it. She kills it. So those blockers can just nail those free balls, right?
Oh, that's an overpass. That's called an overpass.
Overpass, right?
That's called an overpass. That's called
Overpass.
overpass. So, like, yeah, you get an
You
overpass.
don't want those, right?
Oh
Yeah.
no,
They're
you're not
bad.
going to be very good. That means it's a bad pass, Richard.
Got
You
it.
know what I'm saying? So
Got
you have a bad
it. I
pass.
see.
It goes
Got
back to the same thing. You got to
Back to the
pass and
same
serve.
thing. Pass and serve. So passing, you're trying to pass. So what is the goal of because I see everybody has to pass at times, right? Is the goal to pass it to the setter? Let's say it's the second, the goal is always to get it to the setter, right?
Yes. So
yeah.
you have a scoring system or a ranking system, whatever you want to say. So it's a 3-2-1. So if the pass is a 3, that means that's the best pass. That means the setter has the option to set all 3 front row positions.
I see.
So if the pass goes to the 10-foot line, now you really can't set the middle because it's not going to be successful. So now it's more like a 2. And if it's really a bad pass, it's behind the 10-foot line, it's really like it's a 1 or a 0.
I see.
So when you pass it a 3,
meaning 3 choices. You got 3 different avenues to score versus 2 or 1. So, like for instance, if something goes way out of bounds, on the second one, and they hit it on the second, and it lands almost just in that's where they do those free ball. They just get it over there, right? As far as they can. They got to regroup because there's not much you can do with it, right? When the ball's boom, I got you.
No,
it happens.
It happens a lot in high school, and that's when you're fighting to survive at that point within the point,
Right. Now, do you teach each player to do defense? Because I see a lot of women, they just, they want to just whack the ball. They want to kill it, right? But does everybody, again, like Harper Murray, to me, she can play every position, whereas you don't see, Adriana, she doesn't dig a lot. She's 6'6", so it's a little bit different. But do you teach every player to just pass? Yeah, everyone's got to learn how to pass.
Everyone's got to learn how to pass. Everybody's got to learn how to pass.
Right.
But as far as defense is concerned, like defense, it's like baseball. You play good defense, you're going to be in the game.
Right.
But what I did learn, the first 3 or 4 times we went to the state final, we lost in the state final. And I remember saying to myself, I hope we win one of these before I'm done, kind of deal. But then I realized after watching, like, you can play the greatest defense and you're going to hang in there. You're going to be good. But you need to have someone who could score.
Right. You got to have
someone. Put the ball down. You got to have someone who could score, just like baseball. Like, you got to score runs to win. You can stay in it. Pitcher gave you great effort. You got to have someone who could.
You need an Aaron Judge.
You need an Aaron Judge. Absolutely.
You need an Aaron Judge. So when you have that, right, let's say she's an outside hitter and does that, let me ask you about practicing. Do you practice those kills? And then when you're practicing kills, do you practice digs for those kills? Because I'm wondering what a practice looks like. You said serve, serve, serve. It's like bookends plus the middle, passing. But then when do you practice those attacks? Like, is that every day too?
That's every day. So what we do generally at Pagoda is we have 2 nets. So we do a general warm up together. We'll pass and serve. And then what we'll do is we'll split up the front row kids and the setter will go to the one net, and the back row kids go to the other net, and they're working on passing skills or
Okay.
defensive stuff. And on the other side, they're working on offensive stuff. Now, where it gets complicated and tricky is you need the setter to do both. I just told you before, setters don't play great defense because they don't work on enough because we're worried about scoring. You know what I'm saying? You get caught in that bind. The same thing, our outsides are generally one of our passers. They have to be, but they don't work on it enough. So when so we kind of we try to plan it where like they're on both sides. Like we split up anywhere from a half hour to 45 minutes, basically every day.
Right.
And then we come together.
Okay.
And we incorporate everything together.
Got it.
So
and how long's in practice? 2 hours? I mean, what's the practice? 3 hours? I mean,
I'd probably rather not say.
Okay. I mean, in baseball, we would do 3 hours. I mean, swimming, we did morning and night. I was on the swim team, hour and a half, but it was a 3 hour. But like, is 3 hours a lot or not enough?
It used to be a lot longer, but times have changed. So it's generally like 3 hours.
3 hours.
It's generally 3 hours. Sometimes go a little longer, sometimes go a little less. It's the bottom line. Like when you as a coach, when you accomplish the things you need to accomplish that day, I tell the kids all the time, you decide how long you're going to be here.
I see.
You get things done, we move on. That's it. We don't get things done, we got to get it right.
Got to keep going. What about conditioning? Do you guys have to, baseball, you got to run a mile before practice. Do you do conditioning, or they're always like sprinting like basketball? What is conditioning in volleyball? Is that each girl has to do it on their own?
No, we do it.
You do.
I don't think a lot of schools do. I could be wrong, but we run what we call tens, which is basically sideline to sideline. They got to do it like five times. We call it tens, and we do that every day. Then we condition at the end. Sometimes we'll condition in the middle. But for us, we're a small school, Richard, and like our kids, a lot of our kids never leave the court. Now with high school, with our state going to best of 5 in the state tournament, generally the kids that are in better condition are going to win.
I see.
Those are longer matches now, So we do conditioning. We do physical conditioning. Now the kids can't stand it.
Yeah, of course.
But but it is what it is. So I tell them, you want to be good, you got to do it. You don't want to be good, then we'll treat it as a wreck. Then we treat it as a wreck. What do you want to do? You want to win? Yeah, I want to win, coach. Okay.
That's the key, that's that extra, or, Larry Bird would in the dark, remember, shoot free throws, and the one who it's all about time. But so let me ask you this, because I don't see a lot of injuries. I saw one last year, Wisconsin, like she landed on somebody's foot, and twisted her ankle. Anna DeBeer it was, who now plays for Indy Ignite. So, is that like you don't see a lot of injuries? And what would be a common injury like in volleyball?
Knees, ACLs and stuff, from jumping.
You're jumping, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, there's injuries in volleyball, though. Listen, if you play hard, chance of injury is greater. But you got to play hard to be successful, so.
Yeah, it's a catch-22.
But we've had kids hurt, we've had kids bumped up. We have kids roll ankles. I require all my kids. Funny story. So I make the kids wear ankle braces. So in our club season last year, I noticed they weren't wearing them. I mean, basically, I thought, what are you doing? Like, and then it was like, well, coach, they hinder me more than they help me. Oh, really? Okay. Okay. So I said, so then I compromised. I said, all right, the front row kids have to wear the ankle braces. Back row kids don't. Wouldn't you know it? In a tournament this year, our little 5'2", one of our liberos, she rolled her ankle.
Wow.
I didn't say a word. Okay. So I didn't say a word, but so she was out for like a week, 5 days a week.
Ooh. And
all of a sudden she came back. All of a sudden the ankle brace was on.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And then all of a sudden everyone saw, and then all the back row kids put the ankle braces back on.
Right.
Okay.
Let's take advice from the, and you were speaking of offense, by the way. It's called that teardrop. I see that with the setter. So when I watch Bergen Riley, she's not she's not trying to spike it or kill it, right? a lot of times they'll almost like place it. But when does it become where like you hold it too long? What is that called? Like if you're, you can't just like grab the ball, or can they? You know
No,
what I'm
no, you can't. You can't. It's perceived as being a throwdown,
Yeah,
even
throw down.
though that's a judgment call.
I
I've seen it
see.
called and I've seen it not called, where
Right.
the kids actually catching the ball, they throw it down.
Yeah, you can't
You
catch
know,
it and then throw it like you're
no,
I
no,
see.
no. That's called like a tip. And basically, when you tip,
Uh,
like so when you go over scouting report, especially in college, like
right.
if we don't like kids tipping, be honest with you, we want them hitting. If they could stop our if they could stop our attacks,
Right.
then they're going to beat us. That's it. As
Right.
simple as that, But in college, like you'll notice open areas,
Yeah.
where so like if the set is not a great set, that's the only
Right.
time we do tip. If the set's
I
not a
see.
great set and the hitter can't take their proper approach, and
Right.
it set's too tight,
Right.
whatever. So
Right.
they'll tip to an open area,
I see.
you know. So
Yeah, I
like there's
see like
different
a
def.
setter when she's real close to the net, right? And the ball's like when the pass is coming, almost like it's gonna go, she'll just, you're right. She'll almost like direct it into this little tiny, and again, she must be, they're always looking. I guess they gotta have that visual, right? To be a great ball player. Like you
Oh,
see the field more than,
oh yeah,
Gretzky used to know where the puck would go. So he could see, whereas, you know what I mean? Even as an outfielder, it's like crack of the bat. Where's the ball going?
right.
Is that the same? They got to
It
have.
is. The setter is setter is. They're all important positions, but if you don't have a good setter,
Yeah,
it's
you're in
rough.
trouble.
It's
I
it's it's
see.
like a quarterback.
Got
It's a
it.
quarterback.
It's the
Same thing.
quarterback.
They
Yeah.
control the point. Like I
Right.
tell them basically who we're going to set most of the time, but the setter's
Right.
got to have the freedom. If the pass is not where it needs to be, she needs to have the freedom to set who she needs to set. And like they're like the quarterback. They're like the pitcher.
Right.
They
Right.
control. You could Richard, you could have a great pass if the
Yeah.
setter doesn't get the ball to the hitter, breaks
Yeah.
down.
Yeah, yeah, it's
You know,
different. I know. It's funny. I'm watching how they're recruiting, and they're always talking about she's a freshman setter. That everybody's going after that great high school setter. I'm like, it's interesting. Where it's like to me, and if you're watching the sport, you just take that for granted. You're looking at the hitters that are, just kills. Andy Jackson's got like 5.5 kills per set. And you're looking at a player like that, but then Bergen Riley gets all the accolades. She's the setter. And you're like, well, because in college, I guess, same in high school, that person's so critical to the team. So how do
oh,
you develop a good setter? Does like a kid want to choose where they want to play? Like, is it just, hey, I want to be a setter? How's it work in high school?
that's part of it. The other part is like when we have our little our clinic, our elementary clinic, like we could like a setting we'll go over. So we identify kids based on their hands. What kind of
Ah,
hands do they have?
ah,
Like they got like soft hands.
I see.
And then they got to be able to move. Like
Yeah,
setters run a lot.
they're
You know,
nimble.
you
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah, they
they're
do.
all over the place. So they
They're
got
all
to
over the
have
place. Yeah.
some agility, but they
Right.
could work on that through different conditioning stuff. But they got to have good hands. Having good hands is not as easy as people think. Like you could work on it,
Right.
but you got to have athletic hands.
I see.
Because that ball
Athletic.
hits you and you got to go. You got to go.
Yeah. Yeah, the ball hits you. Now, what about the libero? Because they're little, right? I mean, I'm seeing it, 5'4", 5'6", and everybody else is like a foot tall. Well, Bergen Riley's like 6 feet as a setter, but could a setter be 5'9", or nah? You really want them taller? And a libero, why are they always little? Because they're just digging.
Yeah, they're back row kids. Listen, if you have a tall setter, that's a bonus.
Uh,
That's a bonus. Like that's
right,
something we don't have the luxury of having at Pagoda. Like our
right,
setters are generally like not tall because if
tall.
they're tall, they're going to be a hitter.
I
We're a
see.
small school.
Right, right,
So like in college, so you can actually, if you're a front row, if your base position is front row as a setter,
right,
when that pass comes, Micah Hancock for Penn State was a lefty.
right.
So she's like under the ball, like ready to set the ball, but she hits a bomb. like she hits the ball.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know what I'm
yeah.
saying? So
Yeah,
like
sure.
she scored a lot of points that way. Like,
Right, right.
so yeah.
A
So
setter who can really bomb it. Yeah. Jura Vicious, I think, is a blocker for them. Yeah, I watch her. Yeah, they have
right side, I believe. Right side player.
yeah,
Yeah.
right side, but yeah, they're good. I mean, they're good. I don't know if they go all the way this year, but again, I mean, I'm calling it
Yeah.
for Nebraska because they're and it's funny when I was watching Division 2, just watching some games yesterday. It's like, let me tell you, I've always watched Big Ten. So I'm seeing, and I watch
The best.
professional. They're the best, right? So when I look, it feels like a little bit like I'm watching AAA versus single A, you know what I mean? Or the pros. And they're just, they don't hit the ball as hard. There's like one or two girls that are really killing it. But for the most part, it's little bit slower, right? Is that the same with high school as you get, it's the same. Like,
Absolutely.
but
Absolutely.
could you have like have any of your girls gone to play for the SEC or the Big Ten, or is it typically Division 2? Where are they going?
I had a kid that went to UNLV,
Okay.
and then she didn't like it, so she went to Boston College. I had a kid at Fairleigh Dickinson, which is in
Okay.
right down in Hackensack, right down the street. But generally,
Right.
I've had I probably had about anywhere from 30 to 40 players play at the next level. Most of them
Okay.
D3,
Right.
some D2 though, which is scholarship kids.
Sure.
Combo academics and athletics kind of deal. So
Right.
I've had a bunch, but
Got it.
but yeah. Again, we're a small school. We have
Right.
22 kids on our whole roster, grades
Yeah.
9 through 12.
Yeah, I
so
saw it. There's only 9,000 people in the whole town. So in
that's
your high
correct.
school, there's about 500 in the whole school. So I
Yes.
got it. So to
Yeah.
groom them up, and you probably play other sports. Okay, what about this one? The hand signals. Like I see them like before the play starts, they got their hand almost like the shortstop. What are they? What are they
No,
signaling?
the setter's just telling the hitter where they're setting her.
Oh,
You
I
know,
see.
that's it.
That's it.
You know that could change in the course of a point, though.
I
Like
see.
it's necessarily it's going to take a perfect pass, and and that's it. It's
I see.
we
So
don't really we don't we don't normally do that, like because we set outsides 90% of the time.
right.
And but again, one year we had a good middle, and like we set her also. So, but like
Right.
generally, like I want the kids on the court communicating, talk to each other.
Right.
That doesn't happen enough in high school.
And it's
Everyone's
verbal, like verbally they're talking. I mean, I'm obviously listening to an announcer, but are they talking throughout the whole thing?
Yes.
Oh, I see.
In my opinion, they don't talk enough. They
Oh,
need to talk more. But you need to
really?
communicate. Volleyball is such a fast sport. Points
Right.
happen so rapidly
Right.
that you need to communicate. Like
I see.
especially the setter needs to communicate. You
Like
setter doesn't have
verbally.
good. Yeah,
Mm,
you got to. Like you
interesting.
have to. Even encouragement. Someone has a bad pass. Like I always teach the kids, like if someone has a bad pass, you guys need to have her back. Make sure you're in her face, tell her it's okay, get the next one, kind of deal.
Right. Oh,
So when I see that doesn't happen,
I see.
I get mad at the kid who made the bad pass. I get more mad at the kids who don't
Or
go and
not.
support her.
Right.
Because if the team we're playing against is worth anything, they're going to go serve to that girl again.
I see. I see that. That's the most amazing to me when I started first watching this sport. The positivity, and they're always smiling. They kind of come together in a little scrum, a little circle, and they're always like, it's like, it doesn't matter if you make an error. It's like as if clear the slate, because I get it. You can't be the weak link. Even if you kind of trip up, it's like as if it never happened.
You can't show the other team that you're down.
I see.
Because it gives them an advantage.
It's an advantage, even that little subtle advantage. It's like the guy that strikes out, who's all throwing the bat, and there he comes back the next time up. I got you. Struck out on the nasty curve.
So what it does is it creates a downer for our team and gives the other team a lift.
Yeah, I see.
So I always tell the kids, no emotions on the court. Like just
it's all positivity. That's what I liked about the sport. And there's no, what else I like about the sport is like, I was watching basketball for a while. My mother was into the whole Caitlin Clark thing, and they knock each other down. There's fights. You would never. It's almost like whatever's happening on the other side of the net is irrelevant to these. All they care about is like their positivity, right? It's never like maybe they're looking for a weakness, but I never feel any animosity between teams. Is that same in height? Like you try to keep it.
There's yeah, but there's animosity, but not at that level because like the Kane Clark deal, like there's physical contact. In volleyball,
Right.
there's no physical contact.
Right.
But I always tell our kids that team on the other side wants to beat your butt, and I always tell our kids they'll see some of their teammates from club season on the playing against us.
Right.
I have a rule: you don't talk to that kid before we play. Absolutely not.
Right.
They don't like. That's where girls don't get it. Like they think everyone's their friend. No, they want to destroy you.
Yeah. Right.
They want to destroy you. Then they'll talk to you afterwards, nicey nice. No. Let's kick their butt and then go talk to them nicey nice. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
right.
Yeah.
Back in high school, give a shout out to my brother. He knows this. This guy named Umverzak was a catcher, right? And he was a great catcher. He played. Joe Betzo was one of the best pitchers like we ever. And anyway, he would as soon as you come up, hey Richie, he would start talking to me. I weren't swinging. You weren't looking good the last time. Like all of a sudden, he's getting in your head. Like, do they trash talk or not really? I don't never seen it in volleyball, but you're like picking on the girl. Oh, that was a weak.
It happens. It happens. It happens, but you're very, very coy about it. And it's usually it's like kids that are playing the front row opposite each other. So like they're kind of like they give each other looks, or they're like, or just
that's
it happens.
Yeah, it's possible, right? But it's like if it is, it's not front and center. Whereas, I just remember this guy. Yeah, it's not like they make it. You see the girl. I don't see it. I watch. I'm looking at Annie Jackson. She never really engages another player on the. I don't see it, but it might happen subtly, right?
They're very good about it.
They're very good about
very
it.
Cool about it.
So that's it. Okay, one more thing, and this has been awesome. What about substitutions? Because how does that work? Like, first of all, Harper Murray almost never leaves the court, whereas Andy Jackson will leave the court. Adrian, they'll leave, and Landfair, the liberos. How does it work? Are you allowed to just sub or?
Well, yeah, I don't even know what the college rules. In high school, you're allowed 18 subs per set.
18 subs per set, and it doesn't matter how long that person stays in.
No. Now, when the libero subs in, that doesn't count for the 18. Like that's why libero was,
designed. They're interchanged, so you could send, and it's usually one libero. Sometimes there's two, but
there's one that plays. But I think at some point they're going to make the high school that you can have two liberos. That's what we do in club. Like we have two liberos. But so in high school we have a libero, and we have that plays 3 rotations, and we have a DS. Right. That DS counts against the subs. The libero does.
Defensive specialist. Is that what that is?
Yeah. So you're allowed 18 subs, and basically what you explained about the Jackson girl is she's just probably not a good passer or plays good defense, whereas Murray does.
Yeah, right. Murray does.
And Murray's their go-to person, their leader.
Yeah.
She ain't gonna lead on the bench. She needs to be on the court.
I see. Yeah. You want her out there. Yeah, she can do
anything.
There. She passes. She digs. She does that out. She's really. I'm telling you, she comes from the back row more than anybody. And then you're right. They'll sub out. They never sub out the setter. She never got her and Murray. So, and then the libero, there's Lainey Choboy. There's a few, but Lainey seems to be like their go-to. And then when they had the senior night, they brought in the senior. And that's another thing. Like if you have Lainey's got like digs. She does those pancakes, where it's like, I don't even know how they could even dive and just, they flatten their hand on the court, guys. And then it hits that's unbelievable. So that's another thing. So those 3 players, to me, I see them stay out there 90% of the game. Well, again, Harper never leaves unless it's like a senior night. So is that the same with the liberos? If they're that good, you got to keep them. Because defense.
Oh yeah. Liberos are like, it's a combo. Liberos are really good defensively and really good passers, and
I see.
we put the liberos in for our middles.
Ah,
So that's what we do. That's generally what people do, not always in
right.
high school.
Right.
So like we did a DS for our one outside, who's an all county player, all state player. Like she played 6 rotations. She was our leader.
Right.
And then our other outside was a sophomore. And basically we just wanted her to score. And so she came out in the back row because we just want her. She's young. She's a sophomore. So
right.
we need her to develop one thing at a time kind of deal.
Right.
And next year she'll work on her passing and her defense this club season. And next year she'll be a 6 rotation player. So we kind of like mix and match. Plus, here's the bottom line. If a kid plays 6 rotations, they got to be your best in front row. They got to be your best in back row.
Wait, let me interrupt. When you say rotations, okay, I hear that. Is that how you're setting up the court? Is that how it is? The players, when you say the rotation, it's like, so a different rotation would mean when you sub somebody out, that would be a different rotation. Is that what you're calling rotation?
Yeah, kind of. So like when you set up your rotation, like you have
your
2
starting
outsides.
team. Right.
Yeah, you have 2 outsides. They play opposite each other. Like our outside started in 1 and 4.
Right.
Okay. And then the or no,
1 and 3.
they got to be opposite. They got to be, so the setter's got to be opposite of the right side. Yeah. And the middle's got to be opposite of each other,
Got it.
And how you start that depends on your personnel.
Right.
Like, we want our best hitter to be front row immediately. That's the trend right now in high school.
Okay.
So she'll start in 4, which is left. If you're looking at the net straight on the left side, that's 4.
That's 4.
If we're serving, if we're receiving, she'll start in 5, 1 back. So then we get a side out, she'll come to front row. So we want our best hitter to be front row for 3 starting rotations, basically to get a jump on it.
So rotation is what the field looks like pretty much. It's like the team you put out there, right? If I change my left fielder, that's a different rotation.
Yeah.
I see. If you have 2 liberos, if you bring in a second one, that's a different rotation. So are those known like in college at level? Do they, I know she'll sub out when I see Nebraska sub out, right? She'll bring Andy Jackson out, but not for long, right? She'll put Taylor Landfair or whatever age, and then is this given a quick break?
No, when Jackson comes to front row, when her position comes to front row,
right,
then she goes back in.
I see.
So when Jackson goes out, she's going to be in position 1.
Right.
So then that position goes to 6, then the 5, and then the 4, which makes her front row. When that position goes to 4, she'll go back in.
Oh, so you saying to rotate mean the players have to rotate, like, or no? Oh, they have to rotate. It's a requirement. Oh, I didn't know that. So it's a requirement. So
you just can't play where you want to play. It would be great to do that. No.
Oh, I see. You have to play. I didn't know that. So it's like, so how does it work? So each serve, you got to rotate, or? Oh, that's how it works.
Absolutely.
Otherwise, you would just camp out. I see. Then it would
just. Ray would play front row every. she would be outside for every point.
I see.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So they make them rotate. I see. And that's the libero can go, but the libero is not part of that.
Kind of in a way, like the libero sub in for whoever. Like again, for us, it's the middle. So when the middle. We have 2 middles. So like one of the middles has to serve, and one of the middles the libero serve for.
Okay.
So if you look at the court, if you're looking at the net, so you have the front, the server's number 1.
Right.
Then you go in front of the server. That's 2.
Right. That's number 2.
The left is 3. 4. Back row is 5, and then 6 is in the middle of the court. That's the way it is. So so you rotate. 1 goes to 6, 6 goes to 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh, I see. And that's and that's the rotation. So you rotate. So so the same person can't serve twice in a row? No. So everyone has to rotate to serve. So when you take out Andy Jackson, let's say, you could take her out, let's say, before she goes to serve. Oh, I see. And you're putting her back in when her rotation
goes to front row.
I see.
So
Whereas
Richard,
whereas
yeah,
Harper's so good at every position that she
she's
stays
just
in.
real deal. Yeah, she's real deal.
I see.
So you talked about a jump server before.
Yeah.
If you had a high school girl that jump served and she could
Right.
serve every rotation, you'd never lose.
Oh, I see. You'd never lose. I got you. Right. So that's why now I'm understanding the rotation to the serving. And yeah, some are better serves than others. And a lot of the liberos are typically really good too. I see. So there's where the rotation comes in. So you're so the coach really matters. Maybe you have less players, but at the college level, putting in the right server at the right time. That's why when this one server, I told you, what's her name? Charlotte Vincent, when she doesn't play a lot, but when she comes in, she's doing that serve and then they take her out. I see. Because
she probably has a good floater, which means the ball goes like this. And it really does do it. You could coach that. You could teach that.
It's like a knuckle
the way
ball.
You make contact with the ball. Yeah. The ball floats like this. Very hard to you got to follow it all the way in.
And they're the ones that sort of drop in. They just find a spot and they drop in. Wow. And then the red zone is when somebody gets to 20. That's called the red zone, right?
20. I don't call it the red zone, but I always tell my kids, whatever you want. I tell my kids, basically, when you're in the 20s, we're going to find out who's tough and who's not.
Right.
It's different with playing. You first start a match, it's 0-0, you loosey-goosey. Now you're in the 20s.
It matters. Yeah. What I'm watching, when they get to 20, they don't lose. Like if Nebraska gets to 21st, they don't lose.
They don't lose. They don't lose.
They don't lose. And that's why all those top 10, those Big Tens are like Purdue gets to 21st. So if you're losing and you're 22-20 and you get beat, it's interesting. They sort of really buckle down, right? And then it's just now the coach's strategy. Then they take timeouts. All right. What else? I'm thinking, how about this? The last question I want to ask you, man, there's a lot. So I don't see a lot of lefties. Grace Heaney over at Purdue's a lefty. I mean, I've maybe seen one or two. Is that just because there are more right-handers in the universe or lefties are? Is that
just equate to baseball? How many lefties are compared to righties?
I see. Yeah.
So when you're a lefty, you're a natural fit playing right side, which means your arm swings inside the court. Very rarely you see a lefty play outside. It could not the college level. You're not going to see that. High school,
you're right.
If your best player is an outside and she's a lefty, you figure it out. But it's the same thing. It's just there's not a lot of lefties, but if there is lefties,
you're right. She plays right. Yeah, she's playing on the right side. Grace Heaney. Yeah, and you're right. They bring her out and they put her back. Kenna Willard is awesome, but she stays in mostly. She's like a Harper Murray to me, and they're not too. I mean, Harper, I think, is 6'4". Kenna Willard's 6'2", but when you get to 6'6", there's some that are real tall, but you don't see it as much, right? You think you're going to see it more? You think the sport evolves to whereas the height, in basketball, they seem to get even taller every year. Or is volleyball, where's the key zone? Where's that sweet spot? 6'2", 6'3"?
Yeah, generally, D1 players, 6'2", 6'3". You occasionally you get a 6'6" kid, but I think you're going to see more taller kids going to volleyball because the following: it's easier. Not to say easier is not the word. Right. You have probably a better chance for scholarship, for money in volleyball than you do basketball. Right. That's fact. Yeah. That's fact. Volleyball is growing, and that's one of the reasons why. And
because basketball requires all these different skill sets and the shooting, and it's I would see where you could get really better at volleyball quicker than you could at basketball. Right.
There's 5 skills in volleyball that you got to master. 5 skills, and some doesn't even pertain to everybody. That's 6 rotation players, because you have a libero, they're not working on hitting, so you don't have to worry about that. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So,
Right. Right.
but but what I like about volleyball, Richard,
Mm.
is that there's a place for everybody. You could be 6'6", you're a front row player. You could be like the libero for Maryland. If she's 5 feet,
Yeah.
that's a lot, and she's about 100 pounds. But she
Yeah.
is a tough little son of a gun.
Yeah.
You know what
You're
I'm
right.
saying? Like,
You're right.
so like there's a place for everybody in the sport.
Yeah,
Whether
you're
you're
right.
tall, whether you're small,
Right.
it doesn't matter. Like, if
You're
you're
right.
small in basketball, you better be the
Spud
most
Webb.
athletic kid.
Spud Webb could dunk a basketball. Was he 5'4",
Yeah.
5'6"?
Yeah.
It's a
And
joke. Yeah.
that's
Or like
happens.
Doug Flutie. It's a rarity that you could be
Rare.
that good. But I see. No, you're right. There's a girl on I think Indiana U. She's like 5'2" that they bring her. She's young, like she's a frat. She's a little bear. She's great though. It's like any ball within 5 feet, she's got it. Like,
Yeah.
and I got you. So it's really open to everybody. Well, let me say this, because when I subbed for 5 years, right, when phys ed was kind of like, I don't know, back in my day, I don't even want to get into it, but now what they would say to me is, well, basically it's always indoors, set up basketball. So we'd split the court in 3: volleyball, soccer, and basketball. And let me tell you, basically all the girls I would play with them, they were playing volleyball, and the ball was like a bigger, softer ball. But it's just a very inclusive sport. Like anybody could play. Sometimes the guys that were not that athletic would come, but we'd have the most people would be in volleyball. Not a lot of soccer players, and basketball was just those that, it was like almost a game. So I did see it. Like I saw, and that's why I was like, what's up? Why does everybody want to play volleyball? Because you have to move the net. By the way, the net, it used to be 6'6", but it's taller, right? How high is that net?
Like 6 1/4, maybe. I'm not even sure.
Yeah, I know originally when it started, it was 6'6", but these women are 4 feet above. I mean, some of them are really, that's where the angle, when I see that, like Jared Vicious, it's the angle. It's almost, how do you defend that? Right. But what a cool sport. So you've been, how many years? You said 25 years as a coach.
25 years of volleyball.
Wow.
I enjoy it. I still enjoy it, even though I retired from being the athletic director at Bogota High School. I still enjoy it. And I coach softball also.
Okay.
And I just, volleyball is an indoor sport. It's easier to coach an indoor sport than an outdoor sport, because you don't have to yell across the field.
Right.
Go to the outfielders, like you give direction. When I say easier, it's just the kids are right here. It's the same thing with basketball. It's an indoor sport. That's, people ask me all the time, what's harder to coach? And I tell them an outdoor sport's harder to coach than an indoor sport. That's simple. Sure. Because the kids are right here. You know what I'm saying? So, but I still enjoy it. The kids are committed, and I'm going up to Albany. I'm going up to Albany on Saturday to watch a couple of kids play on their club teams. Which I enjoy doing.
Right. So there's club now. Back in our day, there was no. I mean, I know baseball became so. It's the same with volleyball. There's club teams, and you have to get on. It costs money to travel. All that business. It's serious, right?
A lot of money.
Really?
They're all a lot of money.
Wow.
You have AAU basketball, you have ASA softball, you have, like you have volleyball. Like it's just, it's either volleyball, Garden Empire Volleyball Association,
wow.
These kids will travel a lot, and it's I call to be a state champ, you got to put the time in. It's just no secret. That's it. It doesn't matter what you do.
That's it.
Got to put the time in.
Got to put the time.
I tell the kids, it's not a rec sport. You want a rec coach? I'm done. I'll move on.
No, you're there to win. So did you win last? And when does it? So when's the volleyball season for high school? Because I know college, it finishes on December. It goes from like September. When is yours?
We first week we start in August, at the end of August preseason. Then our first match is our first week in September. We go to November. early November.
Got it.
We lost in the section semis this year, but we ended up 22-5. Kids, I was proud of the kids because we rely on a lot of young kids.
They played almost 30 games in high school. Wow.
Yeah.
That's to get to all the way to the end. Is that what it is? You play 20?
Yeah, for the most part. Plus, we played like 4 tournaments and stuff. So they're playing a lot of volleyball. But that's that's what you got to do. You got to keep up with the teams you're competing against.
Right. Now, last question, and it's been awesome. But in the off season, because once this college ends, right? These girls know it's winter break. But like come January, in baseball now, there's never really an off season. Back when we played, there was. We'd be hitting in the cage, remember? But is there an off season where they just, we'll see you next September? No, it's like you got to go to club. You got to play through the summer. Like the girls do they play all year round?
There is no off season.
There's no off season, even in.
So let me give you real quick what we do here. So like our season, this is our year schedule. So the kids have off in December, even though they're playing. We have our own club program. Okay. Because a lot of my kids basically can't afford to pay X amount of dollars. So, so we have our own club team, but we have kids that play for another club too. But we play through that club. In other words, they can do both, and they'll do both. They'll play on that team and our team.
Right.
So they're playing a lot. So basically they have, like I said, I'm going to a tournament this weekend. But my particular club program, we have a tryout next Thursday, which is really not a tryout. It's basically just it's every kid makes it. It's kind of deal. So, gotcha. And then they start to practice like January 1st. They go into tournaments. That goes to Memorial Day weekend. Then in June we have like open gyms, and then July we'll go to team camp. And basically we'll have a summer league. We'll be in 2 summer leagues, and then they have the last week to July to the second week. They'll have like 2.5 to 3 weeks off, and then we start our season. Wow! And then it just recycles itself.
So basically 10 months a year for sure, nonstop. Maybe you get 6 weeks off or something.
Yeah, 10 to 11 months. Yep.
10 to 11 months. Yeah, you get that. Hey, it's like anything.
That's what everyone's doing now.
You want to be great at anything. There's no day off. Derek Jeter probably never took it. Would he take a week off a year?
No substitute.
We were hitting,
No substitute, man.
Love it. No, you got to do it.
Time in, man. That's it.
You got to want to win. That's for sure. Or as my mom and father would always say, you got to want to bunt. Like if you want to be good at bunting, a lot of guys, back in the day, nobody wanted to bunt. But I'll tell you, the only way you get good at bunting is you have to want to bunt. Because if you don't want to bunt, and so it's the same with these girls, right? They want to get great. They want to get the scholarships. They play all year round. That's awesome. Well, Brad, man, this has been great. I mean, I told you, I don't know if I could ever coach one day, but I would love to be an announcer. That would be cool. But we'll start with this. This has been a great show, man.
Appreciate it. I appreciate you having me on. It was fun.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun having you on. I really appreciate it. So I'm going to have you, hey guys, Brad DiRupo, thanks so much for coming on. 12-time New Jersey State Championship coach. Now that's all you do now, right? You're retired from athletic director. Now you're just coaching all year.
That's it.
No kidding. Well, I want to come see you when I'm back in New Jersey. I'll come up and I want to see how you run those 3-hour practices.
Be happy to have you, my friend. Be happy to have you.
Brad, thanks so much. I'm going to have you log off. I'll say goodbye, but thanks so much, man. Peace.
All right, thanks, Rich.
Yep. Good seeing you. You got it. Awesome. He's going to check out, and then I'll finish up, guys. Yep. Yeah, how about that? Wow, Brad DiRupo. I mean, I had no idea. This is a full 11-month sport. Way to go. But let me tell you, you're a high school student, as he just said. You're tall. You're a female. This sport, I've never seen more fitness in any sport that I've seen, and I watched a lot of sports in my day. So there you guys, there you have it. Everything you need to know about volleyball and more from one of the best coaches, high school coaches, I think, on the planet, to win 12 out of 25 times. I don't care what the size of the school is. You have to be great. Well, Again, give a shout out to Nebraska Cornhuskers. Good luck tonight. I don't think they're going to have any problem with this game. Purdue Boilermakers, good luck tonight. Baylor, I still think you're going far, guys. Keep up the good work. And, as I wrote, just a little side note, reason I think I'm fond of Purdue, not so much just the players, but they offered me a full scholarship. I was good student, great baseball player back in the day, without ever visiting the school they wanted me. So kudos to Purdue, and good luck to both of these teams. Hey, guys, thanks for tuning in. Tola Talks. We'll see you next time, and have an awesome weekend wherever you are. Peace.